All right, Shalom. First and foremost, giving all praise to Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Brachak for the spirit to do this lesson. Double honors to the elders and apostles at Great Millstone who rule well. Peace and blessings to the hopeful elect. Shalom to the men of the Lord, prophesying, preaching, and teaching on the highways and byways in sincerity and in truth. Shalom Barakathum. All right, and I call this Christmas is canceled and a dark winter is coming. Um, I caught a glimpse of this headline of this article here on Blacklisted News, and I'll read through a little bit of it. It says the government predicts heating bills will be between 30 and 54% more than last winter. Man, so if you've been following the news later this year, you would know that a lot of Babylon has been given over to uh, a ceasing of mirth, you know, basically financial plagues, because you had, what almost 200,000 so-called black women lose their jobs at the beginning of the year. You had people, you know, basically leaving the workforce, their jobs got shut down. And then you had the eviction moratorium that basically expired back in August, man, at the end of August. So everything is coming to a head, you know, like the Most High is going to weaken this place and weaken it and weaken it. So when these plagues fully get its grip on you, man, it's going to be chaos. And that's going to put a lot of people in the mindset to take that, that MOTB, because how much more can you take, man? You spent all your savings last year looking for a job, you know, you lost your job or your business shut down, you can't make the rent, you adding up more debt, the eviction moratorium, people getting put out of their houses, inflation is going across every single area, man. Food is up, gas is up, rent is up, electricity is up, and this is uh proof of it right here, man. 30 to 50%. That's crazy, man. That means if your bill is usually uh $200, man, you getting ready to pay 300, man. That extra $100 could be the cell phone bill. You have to make hard decisions depending on your income level, man, and what's going on. It says the supply chain is still messed up. We know the holidays will be a drain due to inflation and empty shelves. Now, the U.S. Energy Information Administration predicts we will pay 30% more heating than we did last winter. Now, why is that? Why are they raising the prices, man? That's a conscious decision to make. They'll try to blame it on the fact that, oh, it's just the economics, there's more money supplied, therefore, but when things are like, electricity that are critical, they don't have to raise the prices. The government can come in and say, what are you doing raising the prices 30, 40, 50%? If anything, the power companies should go back to the government and get their money back instead of charging, people who need their power over in the winter extra money, man. You're gonna have a lot of so-called white people croak, man. You Edomites that up in age, that your family relatives don't check on you that much. A lot of y'all are gonna die. It says the EIA analyzes the four main heating fuels: natural gas, electricity, propane, and heating oil. The predictions are good. From October to March, retail energy prices for several fuels are already at their highest point in several years. Although prices over the past year can be attributed to several factors, the main reason wholesale prices of natural gas, crude oil, petroleum products have risen is that fuel demand has increased from recent lows uh, rather than supply. All right, so they're blaming it all on the whole supply and demand thing, but Esau it, there is no real economy. That's what a lot of jakes don't understand. In a normal economy that would be true, but Esau can print money. You live in a world where he can he can set an inflation target. All right, he can tax this person. He can allow this type of transaction to go on. You know, He can deal directly with nations that supply oil. There's no reason for the price to go up with the way Esau has this thing set up. But now he's going to tell you there's nothing he can do about it. Ultimately, he's setting you people up, man, to feel more dependent on him. These are some of the charts here. We're gonna get this in Ecclesiastes. It says Ecclesiastes 12:3. It says, "And that in the day when the keepers of the house shall tremble, and the strong men shall bow themselves, and the grinders cease because they are few, those that look out of the windows be darkened." So when you're looking at your holiday season, you know it's just damn the shipping and can't get Christmas presents on time. People not even going to be able to afford to buy Christmas presents to begin with, man. People are going to be trying to make their rent, trying to keep their power on, especially in some of those countries, Salakia states up north, like Minnesota, Illinois, Chicago, Wisconsin, that whole area, it gets fucking brick cold out there, man. You know, brick. Even out here, it gets cold, man, in the Kansas City area, you know, North Dakota, North and South Dakota, Nebraska, that whole Midwest swing, it gets super cold. So a lot of people, man, are gonna are gonna die horrible deaths, and you can see that now because what else are people gonna do, man? It says Ecclesiastes 12:4. It says, "And the door shall be shut in the streets when the sound of the grinding is low, and he shall rise up at the voice of the bird, and all the daughters of music shall be brought low." So we know a part of this was going on last year during the whole outbreak, but we know more of that's going to come, even though it seems like, things are kind of come back right now. We know more of this is going to come. It's not over with, man. This is happening in waves, you know. The scriptures say the kingdom of heaven is likened unto like birth pains, like those contractions coming back and forth, and you can bet, man, this winter is not going to be good for a lot of people, man. And Esau's going to find a way to shut this whole thing down again. He's going to find a way to introduce that MOTB, So the daughters of music, which a lot of these musicians, these entertainers, you know, a lot of that's going to be on a much lower level even than it is right now. It says also, when they shall be afraid of that which is high, and fear shall be in the way, the almond tree shall flourish, and the grasshopper shall be a burden, and desire shall fail, because man goeth to his home, to his long home, and the murners go about to the streets. And you're gonna have locust plagues. That's definitely gonna be a thing. And one of the things that's gonna hit America the hardest, people don't realize, is that America's supply chain is completely fragile, man. It's very centralized, meaning a lot of the food, a high percentage of it, comes from one particular area. So it's nothing for you know a plague of locusts to sweep through one area and cause an all-out famine in the whole country, because people don't grow their own food locally. When you get lettuce and tomatoes and things, that shit is shipped from out of state, man. That's why the 18-wheeler industry, the trucking industry, is so popular. It's such a vibrant industry, because a lot of goods and products are moved across 18-wheelers, just coming from other areas. That means it's all concentrated in one area. You know, I think California produces like 2/3 of some of the world's like oranges or almonds or something like that. Let me see if I can look it up real quick. Food. Let me see if that works. It says California, over a third of the country's vegetables and 2/3 of the country's fruits and nuts are grown in California. So how does 2/3 of all of the fruits and nuts are grown in one state, man? All that has to happen is a drought to come through, that grasshopper, like it's spoken about here, which is the locust, to come through, It says, and the desire shall fail because man goeth to his long home and the mourners go about the street. So it's not looking good for Babylon, man. All right. Now I wanted to play this video before I go over to Isaiah. Now let me see if I can share this properly so y'all can hear the sound. 1 second. Let's see here. All right.
Cheap Chinese goods from China that you're going to be able to get, and the inability there, at least from. Let's get to the next segment here. Christmas and the inability there, at least from the White House right now, to guarantee that you're going to be able to get your goods on time and for your gifts. Now, look, are cheap Chinese goods from China really the embodiment of the Christmas spirit? No, but this is America. It's a hyper-capitalist consumer society. And let's be honest, that's what a lot of people love. So the White House is recognizing that they should probably start freaking out about this. But the time was, I don't know, maybe like 9 months ago, not yesterday. The White House yesterday pressed on whether they can guarantee Christmas gifts are going to get there on time. Not a great answer. Let's take a listen.
Based on everything being announced today, can this administration guarantee that holiday packages will arrive on time?
We are not the Postal Service or UPS or FedEx. We cannot guarantee. What we can do is use every lever at the federal government.
And this woman is a fucking demon, man. Look at her face, man. She's all fucking got an attitude and shit, you know. they in there worried as hell. Are we gonna get our shit on time? She's like, we're not the Postal Service, and this woman got fucking heavy demons on her.
What we can do is use every lever. We cannot
guarantee that holiday packages will arrive.
Look demonic, man.
We are not the Postal Service or UPS or FedEx. We cannot guarantee. What we can do is use every lever at the federal government disposal to reduce delays, to ensure that we are addressing bottlenecks in the system, including ports and the need for them to be open longer hours so that goods can arrive. And we can continue to press not only workers and unions, but also companies to take as many steps as they can to reduce these delays.
So not a particularly encouraging answer there, Crystal.
She's so snarky all the time.
I don't know. I really don't know. Yeah, she's always
like, this is like a really legitimate question, you know?
But of the things that she talks about, that's probably the single most relevant piece to people's lives. But for those of you who are just watching the clips, what we previously talked about in the inflation segment was that natural gas prices are very high, which means that people's heating bills are going to be higher. That we've already got high gas prices. On top of that, you know, Christmas gifts not being able to come on time. This is a political problem. We recently covered that independents turn on Biden. They recently did a focus group with swing voters, and they found that Biden was not rated higher than a C- amongst all the respondents. And one woman in particular said, hey, I wanted to buy a new car and I literally can't. These are the types of things that the administration is going to get backlash on, regardless of whether you like it or not. Marshall and I did a segment earlier this week on the port of Los Angeles in particular, where you see these like 56, 58 ships waiting to be unloaded, stuff sitting on the docks for literally months. Biden, I want to give him credit, I think far too late, actually did come to a deal to try and keep that port open. And he had talked a little bit about it yesterday. Let's take a listen to what he said.
But you see everything breaking down, man. Everything is breaking down in this place. When they put out one fire, another one pops up. You know, and people are about to start getting in the streets. Even these rich Edomites, man, they're going to be mad that they can't get Christmas presents on time. And the people in the middle class, they're going to be upset that they can't pay their rent, that they can't make their that they can't pay their power bill. You know, that they gotta choose between, you know, a cell phone bill and groceries. You know. Let me get that real quick before he goes on. This is Isaiah 24. And 1, it says, behold, the Lord Yahweh make the earth empty and make it their waste and turn it upside down and scatter it abroad the inhabitants thereof. And it shall be as with the people, so with the priest, and with the servant, so with the master, as with the maid, so with her mistress, as with the buyer, so with the seller, as with the lender, so with the borrower, as with the taker of usury, so with the giver of usury to him. And how is this? Now we see how Isaiah comes together, because how would all these things be interacted with each other? Because America's global supply chain. America is linked to everything together with this U.S. dollar. You got China getting paid from shipments over here, Japan, India, you know, a lot of those products are things that Americans make, entertainment, you know, all of these things are all jacked into one plug. So all that has to happen is one chink in the chain has to get clogged up, you know, and this whole thing can fall apart. It says the land shall be utterly emptied and spoiled, for the Lord Yahweh hath spoken this word. All right. So the Most High is only getting started here, man. All right. It says the earth mourneth and fadeth away, the world languisheth and fadeth away. The haughty people of the earth do languish. So a lot of you proud ass people, man, you know, that are bitching because your 2-day shipping took 3 days. The Lord is getting ready to put heavy plagues on this place, man. He's getting ready to fuck you up, to be honest. It says the earth also is defiled unto the inhabitants thereof, because they have transgressed the laws, they have changed the ordinance, broken the everlasting covenant. All right, because none of these politicians are trying to keep the laws of the Most High. It says, therefore hath the curse devoured the earth, and they that dwell therein are desolate. Therefore the inhabitants of the earth are burned, and few men left. The new wine mourneth, the vine languisheth, all the merry-hearted do sigh. The mirth of tabrets ceaseth, and the noise of them that rejoice endeth. The joy of the harp ceaseth. So this is things we heard about in Ecclesiastes, things that we're seeing play out today right before your very eyes. And more of this is going to come down the pike, So just get ready, man,
Los Angeles and Long Beach are home to two of the largest ports in America. And together, these ports are among the largest in the world. And the best way to make that point is that 40% of shipping containers that we import into this country come through these two ports. And today we have some good news.
See, so that goes back to what I was saying earlier. The supply chain is very fragile. How does 40% of all goods in America come through two ports, man? All it takes is for somebody to compromise those two ports, and you have a major issue on your hands. So the Most High has set Babylon up for the okie doke, man. I'll end it. I'll end it there. I'm gonna read a little bit more Isaiah real quick. This is Isaiah 24:10. I'll start at 9, actually. They shall not drink wine with a song. Strong drink shall be bitter to them that drink it, because they're going to be drinking to get to alleviate their stress, because they're going to be depressed. All right. It says the city of confusion is broken down. Every house is shut up that no man may come in. All right. And the city of confusion is another word for saying Babylon, man. There's a crying for wine in the streets. All joy is dark, and the mirth of the land is gone. All right. So pretty soon, a majority of people are going to be crying. They're going to be begging for a solution. And what is Esau going to do? He's going to swoop in, and he's going to say, I have the perfect solution. And we all know what that's going to be when you read Revelation 13, So last one, it says, and the city is left desolation, and the gate is smitten with destruction. One of those gates, man, are their ports, their goods that they import, because America doesn't really make anything. America doesn't make anything. They import everything, and they print money. They make weapons, and they go around the world threatening people. That's basically how their whole operation works. So I'll end it there, man. With that, hopefully y'all brothers were edified. Call halal Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh Shai by Hashem Rachakwadash, Wa Abba Babal, Shalom.